television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that from day one and maximized it. But you didn't do it.
Stephen A. Smith didn't just make waves. He called out the WNBA and veteran players like Sheryl Swoopes in a bold, no-holds-barred rant that quickly went viral. The ESPN host criticized the league for not fully backing its biggest star, Caitlin Clark. This wasn't your average sports take. It was a sharp call-out of how women's basketball is missing a huge chance to grow the game.
Caitlin Clark, the people's champion! Let's get it!
That's a deep one.
Bang!
Just announced that Caitlin Clark and the Fever will be playing 41 of 44 games this year on national TV. They're coming to watch the other girl, right? Right?
Bang!
Teams are moving their games with the Fever to NBA arenas so they can sell more tickets. How about that?
Bang!
Angel Reese attempted a three this deep. I think she might dislocate her shoulder.
Bang!
You want some butter with that bread? Butter. Butter.
Butter pecan! Bang!
Here's the truth. Caitlin Clark is doing something no WNBA player has ever done. She's not just racking up stats. She's pulling in massive TV audiences, filling arenas like it's the NBA Finals, and making women's basketball exciting for a whole new generation. But instead of rallying behind her, the WNBA, led by Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, seems to be dragging its feet. And rather than cheering her on, legends like Sheryl Swoopes are downplaying the momentum she's created.
Didn't want to, rather. You were a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so, you had people like Sheryl Swoopes who didn't even want to mention her name.
Smith didn't hold back. He directly called out the WNBA's leadership for dropping the ball on a moment that could transform the league's future. With a golden chance to boost visibility and bring in serious revenue, the WNBA, according to Smith, is acting like it doesn't even notice. In his eyes, this isn't just a missed opportunity, it's the league getting in its own way.
Everybody talk about other WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them. Nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying, despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care. Fair or not, until Caitlin Clark came along.
Let's get real. Caitlin Clark isn't hype, she's the real deal. She's not only Rookie of the Year and a lock for the All-WNBA first team, she's also the driving force behind a global wave of attention the league hasn't seen before. And how has the WNBA responded? With barely a nod. No big media push, no highlight packages, just a quiet phone call to let her know she won Rookie of the Year. Meanwhile, lesser awards for longtime players come with full-blown celebrations, press coverage, and parties.
They decided that they were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this up.
And that's just scratching the surface. Caitlin Clark's list of achievements already includes spots on Forbes 30 Under 30, SBJ Sportsperson of the Year, AP Female Athlete of the Year, and Time Athlete of the Year. On top of that, she's been using her platform to actively promote women's sports through major appearances and speaking events. Other leagues recognize her value, but the WNBA acts like it's hesitant to admit that everything right now is revolving around her.
But if you went the opposite direction, it could have helped that much and facilitated you being in an even stronger position to get yours. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Wow.
Smith's rant wasn't just a hot take, it was a mirror. He was reflecting exactly what fans have been saying online for months. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent. But instead of celebrating her, the league is treating her like a disruption. It feels like she's challenging an unwritten order that legends like Sheryl Swoopes and current stars like Aya Wilson seem determined to defend at all costs.
Seems to be some haterade in the league in regards to Clark, starting with WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes herself.
And when it comes to Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, Smith didn't pull any punches. He made it clear, her leadership is the issue. Her awkward interviews, filled with vague promises and empty PR lines, make it obvious she's out of touch with the moment. When asked about Clark, Engelbert delivers generic responses instead of the strong vision fans and players are looking for. Meanwhile, WNBA vets like Swoopes keep throwing shade from the sidelines, downplaying Clark's success and suggesting all the attention is just hype. But Smith isn't buying it. He sees the jealousy, and more importantly, he knows the truth. In pro sports, stars drive everything. And right now, Caitlin Clark is that star.
You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. There is no way in hell you just accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it. You know that. Stop it.
If the WNBA keeps treating Caitlin Clark like she's just another rookie, they're not just making a mistake. They're blowing the biggest opportunity they've ever had to push the league into the mainstream. Smith is raising the alarm because someone has to. And people are paying attention. Fans, sponsors, the entire sports world. The only question now is, will the WNBA finally wake up?
If there's actually a debate on who was Rookie of the Year last year, imagine being that delusional. Bang! People need to understand she saved this league. Powder, there's no TV deals, no ad sponsorships, heck, no shoe deals for you, Angel Reese, no McDonald's money. The league losing millions of dollars each year. She saved them from bankruptcy. Time to be grateful. Bang! 93% of her games on national TV. She's like that. Bang!
Let's be real. This isn't just about someone dropping the ball. More and more fans are starting to believe that Caitlin Clark is being treated unfairly because of behind-the-scenes politics. Sheryl Swoopes, a WNBA legend and one of the league's original stars, has been a regular critic of Clark. While she says she's just looking out for the game, she's often dismissed Clark's impact, called her overhyped, and suggested she hasn't truly earned her spot yet. The message between the lines? The league is for the vets, and the newcomers need to stay in their lane.
WNBA MVPs in your career, would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
Man, I can't. Bro, Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant.
Smith wasn't having it. In his usual no-nonsense style, he went after that gatekeeping mindset and called it what it really is: jealousy that's holding the league back. He didn't sugarcoat it. Clark is already pulling in more media attention, fan support, and brand power than most players will see in their whole careers. And it's not because she's loud or flashy, it's because she's showing up where it matters. On the court, in the ratings, and at the box office. Smith's rant wasn't a shot at the WNBA, it was the opposite. It was a fired-up call to stop the self-sabotage. He called Clark the league's best shot at breaking into the mainstream and begged them to put personal agendas aside. His message was simple. You don't have to be a fan of Caitlin Clark to benefit from what she's bringing to the table. The world is watching how the WNBA handles its biggest star. If they mess this up, it won't just be a lost chance, it'll be a major marketing failure.
Then are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in speaking your piece to elevate Caitlin Clark? So therefore even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits? Now you're gonna do it anyway, and I get that, but you see my point?
Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating the game, she's changing the playbook on what it means to be a star in women's sports. The endorsements, the sold-out arenas, the non-stop media buzz, it all points to one thing: she's a superstar. But here's the catch: the league still hasn't fully embraced her. If Cathy Engelbert and Sheryl Swoopes keep holding back, they could end up watching from the sidelines as the biggest opportunity in WNBA history slips away. On the other hand, if they get out of their own way, put their pride aside, and back the player fans are already showing up for, the league could blow up bigger than they ever imagined.
I said Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, you players could have done more to assist it.
The frustration with the WNBA's leadership hit a whole new level when Commissioner Cathy Engelbert stepped into the spotlight. Fans were hoping, even expecting, a bold, forward-thinking vision for the league's future. But instead of real answers or energy, Engelbert gave a vague mix of corporate buzzwords that left people more confused than informed. Her recent appearances on 60 Minutes and CNBC's Power Lunch didn't build confidence. They only highlighted how out of touch the league's leadership seems to be with what's actually happening on the ground. Take the 60 Minutes interview. When asked directly about Caitlin Clark's massive impact, Engelbert had the perfect opportunity to recognize a generational talent changing the game. Instead, she brushed it off with a flat response, "No league is ever about one player."
When you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. Click the one on your screen now, and we'll see you in the next one.